Hey, you guys. Welcome. It's Bobby. Um, this is done in pop up format because I don't know what happened. Let me turn some light on. When I created the show last night, I guess I didn't do it right. I came on today. There was nothing there, so here we are again, peeps. Um, Welcome. I got some jacked up hair today. Sorry. I'm just giving people a chance to join the chat before we begin. Gosh, this is gonna bother me. There, I'll just do that. Okay, so today I'm going to be going over the Fool's Journey. This is members only content. Um, People are trickling in. All right, Becky, Krista, happy Valentine's Day to you both. I know I was at events yesterday and I was getting all these beautiful messages from people and I couldn't really respond at the time. Uh, I hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day. It has been an interesting couple of days. I'm not gonna lie. Um, the Raven hasn't had his breakfast this morning yet, you guys. So, um, shall we smoke him if you got him? I'm not gonna get blitzed, but I do need to smoke. This keeps me from throwing up, or it helps. It doesn't stop it. Um, I have some serious health issues. You guys know that for anybody just joining. And I use cannabis to be able to eat and function. So today is a rough day. Hold on. You know, the one thing I hate about Madu, what up, my baby girl? You know, the one thing I do hate about vaping my weed is um, if you guys don't vape, what happens is the residue kind of builds up and makes a clog. So sometimes you got to sit there, go and try, and try to suck it through. These new models are pretty nifty. You can click it twice and it'll warm up and get. I'm not here to promote that. Anyway, hold on. Let me smoke. Got this. Got that. Look at this. Selena sent me this beautiful package, this wonderful deck of cards, and I haven't had a chance to open it yet. This is the Anthropologist Tarot, so I'll be doing that. I had an idea. When I get home from my parents tonight, or my husband's parents, I want to do this unboxing live. I'm going to do that either tonight or tomorrow. Um, so watch for alerts. I think it'd be fun to open this with everybody else, don't you? All right, let's make sure my phone is on vibrate because I'm going to use it for notes. I just realized when I went to do this that I haven't figured out how to pull up my notes on YouTube yet. That's okay. Phone on pause, go to documents. Fool's Journey. So, what the hell are we doing? Y'all know what the Fool's Journey is, correct? The Fool's Journey is a telling of the journey through the major arcana. The major arcana is the story of creation from the Fool, which is the element of air, all the way down to the World card, which is manifestation and reality. Okay, so in between those two cards are all the other ones. And those cards are split. You've heard me talk about this, but we're going to go over it again. Those cards are split into three sections. The first seven cards deal with the physical world, the or the process of creation. The second deals with the mental, and the third deals with the spiritual. I mean, we have the judgment card towards the end, very spiritual. It's about a call to spiritual action and spiritual transformation. Um, now, why did I decide to do a fool's journey when there's so many out there? Because I have, when I was learning the alphabet, I was having problems finding all of the information I needed in one spot. Um, Now I know where to look for them. But at the time, I had no clue where to look. So, and when I say that, I mean more so on videos because I like to put things on when I go to bed and let it sink into my brain. I do that with Ramon Moon Scarab's 78 card video. So relaxing, you guys. It's just totally chill. You know who's missing is Miss Jan. Did I see her? No. Okay. I know she's okay. She messaged me yesterday, so that's cool. I'm sure she'll be here. Watch, I summoned her. I know I just spoke with Miss Potts, Joey, the Vale Cottage Witch. Draven, what's up, my bro? Draven, can you do me a favor and email me? Because I have some questions for you. Yeah, I'm reaching out to another male to discuss this stuff. We are once again going through the fool's journey. I'm stalling for time. Can you guys tell? Waiting on a video that has been uploading for an hour. Oh my gosh, I hate that so much. All right. Let me lower my phone's video down a little so I could see without a glare. All right. So this would be so much easier if we were face to face, right? Oh well. So here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup. Now there are no images for this right now. I'm trying to figure out if I was on StreamYard, it's all ready. Oh well. I'll figure it out one day. It's funny. Scott Scorpio. I love watching his show because if you're a subscriber of his, you know what I mean. He's very cool with the way he reads. But he had a show he did with Lulu and Gigi the other day. And I think it was Lulu's first live. And I was watching her go through the same shit that I went through when I first hit YouTube. And I bring that up because it made me feel a certain way. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do that now. I know what I'm doing. It was just a cool moment when I saw how people must have seen me when I was first starting out. I was like, I'm so excited. I want Lulu to come on my channel. I love this. Bridget's here. Yeah, you guys have been with me the whole time. You've seen me grow. And you've encouraged me and helped me. That's the important part. You guys are truly my tribe. I want to start my YouTube channel, but I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Becky, this is what I'm talking about. Any questions you have? We're not going. You don't feel good? Okay. Go lay down. If you come across my vape, please find it, Bubba. So I'm not going to my in-laws today, which is okay. My husband is having a really rough day, and this happens a lot. We make plans, and one of us is like, it ain't gonna happen. So, there's that. So if you could spare a thought for my husband, He's having some health issues right now. All right. So let's go ahead and start. I got my core group here. I love you guys. Um, if you have a deck of cards, which I know all of you do, um, then in the future, it'd be fun if you guys brought your decks and played along at home. Okay. Uh, thank you. I'll let him know that, Becky. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bridget, Krista, everybody. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Becky, Draven's right. Fuck around and find out. Just jump in. And of course, Selena, Essence of the Moon, mi hermana. Can't stay, but wanted to say hi. Thursday night, Selena and I do our show. So I will be Selena. When you get off work tonight, shoot me a message, okay? Because I have something written down in my room I wanted to tell you, but I can't remember what it was, so I wrote it down. You're not working. Oh, my bad. You're filming your Santa video, and we're not talking Santa Claus. We're talking Santa Muerte. Okay. I'm excited. Gasp. You're not working, Bridget? I know. She's always working, right? Starting a series. Awesome. I'm starting my series. This is the first one, Selena. There's going to be a journey through the majors and all four suits of the minors. And then we're going to talk about the tree of life and what their astrological associations are. And the goal here is eventually to do a show on path working. That's going to take some time to work up to, but I'm excited. So, what is the Fool's Journey? The Fool's Journey is a powerful metaphor for the human experience. It's often used to illustrate the path of personal growth and self discovery through the major arcana of the tarot. It's a way of showing people, illustrating it. Let's embark on this journey, shall we? Good stuff. Weaving together symbolism, astrology, and the Hebrew letter associations in a story format. I learn better with stories. Um, I'm hoping that I'm not the only one. Stories are a way we pass tales down since the beginning of time, word of mouth. A lot of witch covens or witch traditions won't write their information down, they pass everything. You learn the stories too. Absolutely, Bridget. I didn't have my family sit down in a circle and say, okay, my little witches and psychics today, take your wand like they do in Hogwarts. No. Throughout the day, families would share tales, stories, and instances, and what would you do ifs. And this is how we learn things. This is how I learn things. All right. My aunt knew I'm a slow learner. She did. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a slow learner, but I'm a good learner because I like details. So she used to tell me a lot of stories. I love that. Now, where was I? Don't be surprised if you see several versions of the Fool's Journey, which we do. For instance, a friend of mine created this one, and that's what we're about to go over. Thanks, Robert. Yeah, my friend Robert last year helped me design this. Because that's when I was saying I really want to find something that has all these in, and he says make it. So we did. All right, chapter 1, the beginning. So if you have a deck and you are pulling your majors along with us, excellent. I'm not gonna pull mine out because you guys all got your cards. Usually I pull it and let you watch me. Now you're gonna pull it and I'm gonna watch. All right. So, the beginning. In a realm where reality and imagination blur, there stands a youthful wanderer known as the Fool. Clad in vibrant colors and clutching a small bundle, he begins his journey with the number zero. I guess I should pull my Fool out. Son of a bitch! What did I do? Oh, no. Okay. You're not going to pull it out, Bobby. No, Bridget, not today. I'm going to let you yank it and I'm going to watch. Oh, I know. Ugh, okay. I hate to do this because I haven't unboxed it yet, but that's okay. You guys can be privileged to see me break the seal on Selena's deck. It's still in order. Oh, I did it. I broke the seal. Oh. Yeah, you get first look. Oh, incidentally, on my show First Look tomorrow, I'm talking to Miss Ada. Oh, this looks so pretty. Thank you, Selena. So, this is the Anthropologist Tarot. Michael Burke. Designed in the USA, printed in China. If you're interested, you can go to theanthropologisttarot.com. So, imbued with potent iconography, and symbols sampled from thousands of years of human history, the Anthropologist Tarot is a powerful tool for contemplation, discovery, divination, and manifestation. These are so cool. Oh no, I wasn't prepared for a box opening. Where's my little pink knife? Look at how safe these things are. When we were in school, these were fucking weapons, man. I can't believe they used to let us play with those shits. Thank you, Selena. I knew it. I was thinking last night about doing a live unboxing. I was picturing a live unboxing. I didn't expect it to actually be this. So, funny way that psychic powers work, eh? No, how do I unbox it? Okay, see, I can never figure out, and there's only like two ways. Oh, these are pretty. Look at the backs. These are definitely cool. Thank you. They were weapons. You guys, we had some vicious toys. The playground shit. Oh my God. How did we live? I must have got thrown off of that spinny thing at the velocity of what, 50, 60 miles regularly. All right. Let me pull my computer closer because I can't see the words. Selena was showing me her Essence of the Moon shirts that her and David got. Not Essence of the Moon, the Behind the Moon cards that her and David ordered from my Redbubble shop. They look so good. I was so impressed. I'm going to order mine this week. They were weapons. Oh, you guys, they were bad. All right, back to the Fool. This doesn't really, obviously, it's not the Rider-Waite Smith, but this is the Fool card. Okay. See, it doesn't have a white dog or anything. Anyway. Clad in vibrant colors and clutching a small bundle, the Fool begins his journey with the number 0. The Fool doesn't have a number. He's possibility. He's the seed. He's the void from which everything will emerge. Um, a white dog symbolizes instinct and protection, accompanies him as he approaches the edge of a cliff, ready to leap into the unknown. Now, that dog, I've told you guys, I think, and for those who don't know, when Taro first came out, that dog was not his loyal companion. That dog was chasing him out of town. The fool wasn't the fool, he was the madman. Okay. The dog wasn't going along for the ride with him. No. Um, he chased him out. I thought that was pretty nifty when I first heard it. We grew up in dangerous times as children. True dat. Um, I remember being 7 years old and having my dad send me and my sister to the liquor store with a note to buy him and my mom a pack of cigarettes. And it was about a mile away, a half mile away. You had to walk 3 blocks this way, 4 blocks this way. So it wasn't that long, I guess. Yeah, the fool and the dog are companions now, but they weren't always that way. It was originally chasing him out. So let's talk about the astrology of the Fool card. The Fool card is associated with Uranus energy, the planet of sudden change and innovation, reflecting his nature as a bringer of new ideas and experience. The Hebrew letter Aleph, meaning ox or leader, is tied to the Fool, symbolizing strength and life force that drives the soul forward. So if you look at it this way, we've got the Fool starting a journey. Uranus is telling us how the Fool is starting a journey: with abandon, with upheaval, without plan, just throwing their caution to the wind. And I use that phrase on purpose, caution to the wind. In the major arcana, there are 3 cards that symbolize elements. 3 mother letters is what they're called in the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph, oh my gosh, the Hanged Man. Mem, and Shin Top. Shin Resh Top. Resh Shin Top. Shin is the judgment card, and that symbolizes fire, the fire of transformation. When and we'll get to that later on. So when we think about Aleph being ox or ox goad, or plow, ox plow, ox or ox plow, the whole idea there is breaking ground. Okay. You know those old plows that the farmers used to use where they tie it to the ox and it would till the field? That's what this card represents: breaking new ground. So if you're keeping notes at home, Aleph is Aleph, air, the idea, the upheaval, the breaking new ground. Okay. So next we go to the magician's workshop. As the Fool ventures forth, he encounters the magician, the master of manifestation. I love that. And willpower. With one hand pointed to the heavens and the other to the earth, the magician embodies the phrase "as above, so below," demonstrating the connection between the spiritual and the physical realms. We've got as above, so below, as within, so without. Oh my gosh, I cannot think today, you guys. What was the third one? Homework. Okay. The table before the magician holds the 4 suits of the tarot: wands, cups, swords, and pentacles, representing fire, water, air, and earth. And we're going to break those elements down in this series, because there are fool's journeys for the minors. Well, I wrote them. I wrote one, so we're going to do it. The magician is ruled by Mercury, intelligence, thoughts, highlighting his intellectual prowess and communication skills. The Hebrew letter Bet, signifying house, aligns with the magician, symbolizing the formation and expressions of ideas into reality. So we got Mercury for the magician, M, Marshall Mathers. Um, Mercury is the planet of intelligence. It is the planet of thought. It's quick. You need to be smart. Beth, Beth, spelled like Beth. Beth, I hear you calling. Um, Bet means house. The magician is building a house. He's building something. He's creating something. He's forming something. Okay. Um, Mercury is communication too. So when the magician card comes up, I tell my students, um, it's not just about creating something. It's not just about communicating. It's about both of those together. It's about communicating your need in order to create something. Um, it's both of those wrapped into one. And I remember the first time I threw that up to one of the tarot groups locally. One of the other teachers who didn't teach the Kabbalah aspect, when I said it's about communicating your need to the universe, she went, "Oh, that's not something I can follow." And I was like, "Oh God, did I push too far?" But I don't think I did. And I think you guys have watched Tarot Tube long enough to get it. So grab on, bitches. Wait, back up. Oh yeah, I went to the ER so many times because of getting hurt at school playing. If it was today, yeah, CPS would have been called MCYs. You know, the one thing in school that I was sent to the hospital for, it was Halloween, and it's funny. I just sang Beth. Um, I dressed as Peter Criss for Halloween with the makeup from Kiss, the cat guy, the drummer. But this was in the early '70s, and the makeup was toxic to me in some way. And I fell down at school, and yeah, it was that was weird. Kiss almost killed me. So now we've got the Fool starting it out crazy. We've got the magician teaching him how to what tools he has in order to build something and how to communicate. Uh the high priestess, we go to her sanctuary. Continuing his journey, the fool finds himself at the door of a mystical sanctuary guarded by the high priestess. She sits between two pillars, Boaz and Jachin, signifying duality and balance. Her veil conceals mysteries yet to be revealed, hinting at the knowledge hidden within the subconscious. Ruled by the moon, the high priestess embodies intuition, dreams, and the inner voice. The Hebrew letter Gimel, meaning camel, represents the high priestess, symbolizing the journey of the soul through the desert of consciousness, seeking spiritual wisdom. What the hell does all that mean? I'm glad you asked. Um, let's start with the high priestess and her veil. The high priestess is the hidden and the unknown. Behind her veil are things that we can only imagine. And it's only with her consent and support that we can see past it. Here's something I've always found interesting. In the major arcana, it's very dualistic. So we've got the Lover's card, two people. Um, we've got the High Priestess, Boas and Jakim. We've got Temperance, water and fire. And I know there's something else. But the point is, I've always found it interesting that the major arcana is dualistic because it weighs against something. It gives me something to question and look at and judge by. Um, I love balance. That's the other one, balance, justice. um, it's very dualistic, and that's one of the things I love about the major arcana. So the high priestess, her planet is the moon. You can see her stepping on a crescent moon. She is ruled by cycles, or she rules cycles and intuition and everything that the moon card represents. She is also a part of. Okay, Gimel on the tree of life, right under the first sphere. There's that big black area, that big empty spot. That's actually called Da'at. Um, that's a concept of the void, nothingness. And the high priestess on path working travels across the void. So Gimel carries us through the darkness. She sustains us. Um, I like to imagine um, Gimel as a flying carpet, taking you, well, not literally, but in the same manner of transportation, taking you to exciting new things, taking you um, to discover new things. But it's not just taking you places; it's taking you deeper. It's taking you into yourself. This is where we go into the darkness. The high priestess shows us what's there, but she doesn't show us all at once. She shows us over time so that we can absorb it properly. Was going to ask if it's prepared to have a Rider Waite Smith deck. Was going to ask if it's preferred to have Rider Waite Smith deck or inspired by. Yeah, something that is Rider Waite Smith would be groovy for this. The Heaven and Earth deck is another one, ideally, that I would say to use because it does have the Hebrew letter associations. It does. Oh, shoot. Would you guys be interested in learning how to count with tarot? Because there are ways where gematria can be used for numerical value. Okay, then we'll add that on to the syllabus as well. So at least 6-part series then. All right, groovy. I was worried I wouldn't have any members only content. Now I definitely do. Oh, Dan, there's my bro. Okay, so, oh man, I wish I could tell everybody, but I'm trying to force Dan into doing something, and yeah, I said force. I want him to do something online with me, and I will not take no for an answer. Never heard of counting with numbers in tarot. Yes, Krista, look up gematria. Wait, wait. Here, look at my booty. Okay, this is the Heaven and Earth deck. I've had about 3 or 4 decks of this. I go through them. This one was provided to me by Selena, Essence of the Moon, because I was so heartbroken that I went through another of these decks. This was my working deck before Santa Muerte and Chris Butler This was it. All right, so let me pull up one of the majors. They're not going to see it. Okay, but down here at the bottom of the card, you'll see all of this information, right? We've got the astrology, we've got the Golden Dawn name of the card, or which the basic name, it, and then up here where you can't really see, there's numbers, and on the Lover's card, it's 3 to 6. Let me pull up another one for you to show. Really? All the majors are hiding from me right now? Oh, there's one. You know what? Let me put a pin in the gematria because I really want to put these in order and give you the proper information. But the um there is a way to count with the major arcana. All right. Um well, stop. I almost hit leave site. No! Chris Butler mentioned number one, you biatch. Yes. Okay, I am going to mention Chris Butler a lot. He is one of my dearest friends and one of the best artists ever. Ever, 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 ever. All right. Oh, check this out. I found this pomegranate peppermint lip balm. It was actually made by Nicole Potts, Joey's wife. It's one of the Veil Cottage Witch Spotters. It makes my lips tingle. I like it, and it works really well. Because of all my weedage, um, my lips tend to stick together. All right, now let's go into, yeah, we will do gematria. We are definitely going to dig into that, people. I want you to have a leg up on the rest of the tarot tribe here and everywhere. I want you to be able to look at a card and say, oh, that's the Fool card. That's Aleph. That's zero. That's this. That's that. And I want you to be able to tell a story when tarot is laid out. I want you to be able to look at it and see what's going on. Okay. All right. And not only see it, to be able to relate it. And in story form, we have more to draw from here. So, where does he go after he leaves the high priestess? We have the Empress's garden. As dawn breaks, the fool wanders into a lush garden, presided over by the Empress, the embodiment of fertility and abundance. Surrounded by nature's bounty, she sits on her throne, nurturing the seeds of creativity and love. The Empress is linked to Venus, the planet of beauty and harmony, reflecting her nurturing and loving nature. The Hebrew letter Dalet, meaning door, is associated with the Empress, symbolizing the gateway to creation and the nurturing aspect of the divine feminine. So now we've got the Empress, ruled by Venus. That's an easy one, it's on the card. So Venus isn't just the planet of love, it's the planet of harmony. Okay. Um, when we think of Venus, we do think of the traditional goddess, love, nurturing, caring for other people. Um, I'm not going to go into that too much. You guys know the Empress. She's one of the most famous ones. But let's talk about the Hebrew letter Dalet that is associated with the Empress. Dalet means door. This is an easy one to remember. All right. Feminine energy is amazing because they are the door to life. This is what door is, the door that gives life, gives birth, that creates something. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical thing, but it's giving birth to something. A lot of decks show the Empress is pregnant, right? Possibility. Um, I love the energy of this because it's not just the door. I'm trying to remember what it was. I read for somebody once, and the Empress came up, and the way I worded it was really cool. I don't keep my readings, so that's why I am having trouble with it. It was with that love created that door. Okay, so love creates that door. I think that's what I was going. I need to learn Hebrew. I tried. I tried to learn how to write the letters, and I'm still trying. Maybe in 5 years I'll be good at it. But yeah, as long as you understand these concepts, and if you truly, truly want to understand tarot and get ahead of the game, the 10 sephira of the tree of life are vital to this. Okay, are vital to this endeavor. The tree of life is going to be the focus of the minor arcana. So if you want to brush up, I have a great book on the tree of life. Oh, what's it called? Everybody should share their favorite books. I've got a stack like this of books I'm going to bring in to show you guys the ones that I think are the best, in my opinion, for learning. And I'm going to show you why I think those books are the best. So let's go on to the Emperor's domain. The Fool's Path leads him to a grand fortress where he meets the Emperor, a figure of authority and order. Seated on his throne, the Emperor is a symbol of stability and structure, governing his realm with a firm hand. The Emperor is associated with Aries, ruled by Mars, representing leadership and ambition. The Hebrew letter Hey, meaning window, is linked to the Emperor, signifying vision and oversight, the ability to see beyond the immediate and plan for the future. So we've got the Emperor, the father figure, right? Where we had the Empress as the mother. Now we've got the father. The father is ruled by Aries. He's got the rams on his chair. It is not somebody you want to go against. Right? The emperor rules. His word is law. That's why it's not only about structure and giving you those boundaries. It's the fourth card. 4 square structure within those bounds. Okay. It's the tree of life and illustrated Israel Regardi. Okay, I'll look it up. Thank you. The tree of life. Okay. Um, and I'll give you guys a book I like. Matt Oren, Spirit Witch, or the Psychic Witch. But check that book out. I like it. It's not about tarot, but you somehow it hit my brain. So the Emperor square structure. He gives you boundaries. But if you step out of those boundaries and fuck up, he's consequence. All right. He's the one that sent Psychic Witch. Thank you, Bridget. Oh, that's a fucking amazing book. And when I saw it for the first time or read it, I was like, this is it. This is what my style. This is my magic. So Yeah, I was stoked when that book came out. Consequence: the emperor will send you to the tree to get a switch if you fuck up. Okay. Um, how does he know? How does the emperor know how to lead, how to rule? How does he know the rules? How does he know what he's doing? The letter Hey from the alphabet is associated with the emperor, and that means window. Okay, so picture a window right here. Through that window, divine light and guidance is coming. That's why window is associated with the emperor. He stands at his window. He receives the light of God. He stands at his window and he surveys everything that he needs to protect. Window is associated with the emperor. All right. So we've got Aries for the emperor window, but remember Aries is ruled by Mars. Okay, so these are both very aggressive. In the minor arcana, Aries and Mars is the two of wands. Again, a very aggressive thing. The two of wands lays down plans of action. All right, and so does the emperor. He lays down plans of action for you to follow. So there's that. Chapter 6 is the Hierophant's Temple. Hierophants is an oldie wordy way um, of saying spiritual leader. The fool then arrives at a sacred temple where the Hierophant, it's not Aerophant, is the reason I brought that up. The Hierophant imparts spiritual teachings and traditions, serving Serving as a bridge between the divine and the earthly. The Hierophant encourages the fool to explore the spiritual laws that govern existence. Associated with Taurus and ruled by Venus, there's that Venus again. The Hierophant embodies the values of tradition and faith. The Hebrew letter Va, V-A-V, meaning nail or hook or tent peg, I've heard it called. Um, Vav, meaning nail or tent peg, connects the Hierophant, representing the link between the spiritual teachings and earthly life. So, the Hierophant is the actual window, if you want to look at it in this way, that the emperor is getting his guidance from. The Hierophant keeps things the same, he maintains tradition. Catholic churches, their rituals haven't changed much in a very long time because ritual is doing something the same way over and over. Okay. Ritual is doing the same thing the same way at the same time over and over and over. It's ritual. It's become ritual. You've heard that phrase. Um, the Hierophant think church. Um, Church is where we gather, our society. So the Hierophant is where everybody comes together. It is society, community, um, but it's the community that has the same spiritual beliefs as us. Okay, people who we can vibe with. Okay, so Taurus rules or is associated with the Hierophant. Taurus is ruled by Venus. What we value, what we love. Um, Taurus is a fixed sign. Think bull. Hey, Bobby, I just shot you an email. Thanks, Draven. Uh, Thank you for shooting it. The I got excited to see you did that. Yeah, Taurus is immovable. Bulls, you cannot move them. When they decide they want to be somewhere, they're there. Okay, I live in Arizona. Bulls are powerful. They're just not going to move until they're ready. So they're stubborn. Um, the traditions the church maintains and that the Hierophant maintains are set and fixed earth. That's just the way it is. All right. Now, Vav, meaning nail or hook, when you hang a wall or hang a picture up on the wall, you're taking a nail and you're hammering it in, because if you don't, you put the picture up and it just falls to the ground, right? But if you connect the wall with the picture, then you've got something. The nail has now connected this and is supporting this. So, nail is associated with the Hierophant. It connects the spiritual with the earthly. Good stuff. Um, we had 3 bulls, assholed a lot of them. I know. You know what's worse than bulls? Boar. Mm-mm. Y'all think piggies are oh, look at the cute. No, no. Fuckers are vicious. Fuck those bitches. We had a boar outside my door the other night, but that was more of a message from Hermes. Um, I just had a bad week, and there has been some good. I'm now hooked up with Llewellyn to review their decks and books. Um, but Hermes has brought some people into my life who also work with him in the same way that I work with him. Not Hermes Trismegistus, which is fantastic in itself, but old school Greek Hermes. And I thought, well, it's cool. Maybe he's bringing him. But then everything is leading me and these people together, and it's undeniable. And then I found out that we all know each other, so that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, Hermes is undeniably maneuvering me right now, and the bore part comes in because I was in my room here smoking the other night, and I've got a big metal door, and I live in a rural area. And last year we saw a boar out here, but I haven't seen any recently. I heard the hooves right outside my door, like big hooves. So there was a big ass boar out there, and I got excited. Yeah, the fable which we're connected. Yeah, I'm a nail. I connect things. Exactly. Perfect concept. Now you're getting it. Um. All right. Chapter 7: The Lover's Crossroad. Now I'm gonna need you guys to tell me. Do you mind a longer session today? You let me know. I'm gonna do the whole majors. So if you stay with me, you stay with me. If you don't, watch it on replay. But I want to make sure this gets out. So at the fork in the road, he comes to the lover's crossroads. The fool encounters the lovers, representing a decision that will shape his path, teaching him the importance of aligning his heart with his choices. Now, this is worded this way for a reason, because yes, the lovers is about choices, but it's a choice of the heart and of the mind, both. Gigi, uh yay to longer sessions. Okay. Yes, Gigi, we are. And I've got that book here. I fucking forgot to send it out. I'm sorry. um yeah, I get excited at longer sessions too. I really love learning from you. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate hearing that. Um, it took me a year to get that hookup, girl. I didn't think it was ever gonna happen. Um, So the lovers isn't just about meeting of the heart. It has to be up here because have you ever been in a relationship where the sex is so fucking good that you are all in, you're for it, you're here, but then a week later you have nothing to talk about and you're realizing, oh my God, this vapid bitch won't leave my house. Um, that's what I'm talking about here. We need to be able to connect on a mental, spiritual, and physical level with people. So let's look at it about choices. When we make a choice, it's the choice that is aligning with our hearts and our minds. The lovers is associated with Gemini energy. There's two of them, two lovers, Gemini. And yeah, hear me talk about this. The voices on our shoulder that speak to us. Um, Make sure that you take a break to eat, Bobby. Oh, you guys remind me in about 10 minutes to go grab something, and I will. Um, yeah, now that you mention it, I didn't eat. Um, and I didn't notice it because I was eating some taffy. I need to focus more on my channel again. Yeah, that's why it took so long because I needed to build up my channels and my viewership so they could actually see it was worth it. Um, Deck reviews are awesome. Geminis are crazy as fuck. They're the one sign I can't stand to be around. I'm kidding, Bridget. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising. I'm Leo Gemini rising. So I'm air and fire. I'm very explosive when I want to be, but I have to keep that contained. If I go off the deep end, it takes a lot to pull me back. So I have to stop myself from getting upset because backtracking is really tough for me. So, choices that align with our hearts and mind. That's Gemini. Now, let's talk about Zayin, which is associated with the lovers. Zayin means sword. Why sword? Ooh, I'm one of the lucky ones. Oh, yes, you are one of the lucky ones I can stand. I get that. Well, my brother's a Gemini too, so I do have a strong love for Gemini. Um, I have a Cancer, a Leo, and a Gemini. Air, fire, water. My mom got the mother letters. Um, so Zayin, meaning sword, relates to the lovers. Why? Double-edged sword. Okay, this is the cutest little crystal blade. I love it. All right, so it's got one side and another side, double-edged blade. Both of these sides are sharp. It can cut in either direction. Okay. Um, so the sword is a representation of double this way or that way, but it also cuts away the bullshit. All right. It cuts away the crap that we don't need, the stuff that doesn't vibe with us. So that's cool. Fucking YouTube keeps switching to random videos and booting me from the live. I'm not even touching my phone. I'm so sorry. I've noticed some things going on with YouTube lately that are a little confusing. Um, so I'm going to go grab something real quick. You guys do not. What's this? I found a button I didn't see before. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go grab something. Be right back. 1 minute. All right, and before I get yelled at by everybody for eating crap and caca today, you're right. I am going to drink a soda pop right now. I'm trying to get away from using sugar or soda to manage my diabetes. Um, we were supposed to go to his family's today for lunch. So, yeah, talk amongst yourselves. That's exactly what I was thinking. But since we canceled, I'm probably gonna order us a pizza later. But um, don't it? Soda pop, and I'm allowed one a day, and this is it. Which means I'll have to drink water with dinner. Mm. Mm. Shut up, Bridget. You act like you don't believe me. Hmm. Okay. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. Um, Bridget, I think about you every single day. And I'll tell you why is because I've got your painting sitting up on my Santa Muerte altar over there. Um, yeah. All right. So we've covered the Fool with Air and Uranus, starting off on a new, exciting, wild adventure. He meets the magician who gives him the tools, and those tools are the elements that he's got to figure out how to use. He doesn't really understand how to use them, though, so he goes to the high priestess. The magician is associated with Mercury, so he tells him how to do this shit. Then he sends him to the high priestess. The high priestess shows him how to use his intuition, how to put these tools into motion, how to live his best life. He meets the empress. He learns about love. He learns structure from the emperor. Uh, then he learns how to connect from the Hierophant, and whether that be with spirituality or the divine. I mean, spirituality, the divine, or community. He learns how to connect. And then the lover's crossroads, he finds love and the true meaning of it, how to connect on different levels, how to communicate properly, how to communicate our needs. Then that brings us to where we are now. You see how the major arcana is the story of life. Another way of looking at it, mom and dad throw their son out. He goes to his friends, tries to learn what he has to do to get by, meets a chick, gets married. Yeah. So next up, we have the Chariot card. The Chariot card. With renewed purpose, the Fool rides onward. The Chariot is a symbol of willpower and victory, harnessing the dual forces of black and white sphinxes, which I love those. He learns the art of balance and control in pursuit of his goals. The Chariot is linked to Cancer, ruled by the moon, reflecting emotional strength and determination. The Hebrew letter Chet, yeah, I said that, Chet or Chet, Cheth, meaning fence or enclosure, connects to the Chariot, symbolizing protection and the channeling of inner strength. So, from the top, when we get the Chariot, it is about forward momentum, movement. True. But the Chariot's a stick shift. All right. Um, it's not easy to drive. we need to manage our emotions, be in control of them, like you're driving a stick shift with the clutch and the gas. Okay. You need to be in control of your emotions to get it to go forward. Um, Joey is the one. I've been doing tarot for decades, but Joey's the one that pointed this out to me. I never noticed it. That on the epaulets of the driver, you have the comedy and tragedy masks, the happy, sad, the two black sphinxes, positive, negative. And I'm going to get sphinxes tattooed on my wrist, I think, or the backs of my hand. I just have to find someone that I really like. So, if we're able to gain control of our emotions and move forward, nothing can stop us. Then we have momentum. The dilithium crystals are activated, Captain, and we're about to enter warp drive. Um, so, Cancer. Cancer deals with emotions, right? Yes, it does. Uh, thank you. Never noticed that about yin and yang. Now I can't unsee it. It's true. We need to balance ourselves to create. So, wild dark energy, wild light energy. We need to harness both of those and create a power source that propels us forward. Okay. So, Chet or Het means fence. The chariot drives within those fences. It's the guardrails on the freeway that keep us in line. All right. Those guardrails are the fence that the chariot drives within. It keeps him on the right path. Uh, yeah. When the fence aspect is pretty easy to remember because we've got on the freeway and the roads, we've got defined areas that we need to be able to um, drive within. I need to figure out how to hold on. I can do it. Oh, wow. Okay, I just figured out. Bobby's got homework. By next week, we should have a better show. Yay! So, Cancer with emotions, controlling your emotions. Remember the epaulets, the black and white, controlling it, maintaining propulsion, forward momentum, and staying within the guidelines. All of those are things that you could tell your client when you're reading tarot cards. If this card comes up, um, matters of controlling our emotions, matters of going places. Vacation is one that comes up. Um, chapter 9, Strength's Inner Power. I should have numbered. I'm going to go back and number these different tonight. I'm going to switch them right now from this point on. So, chapter 8, double 8, Strength's Inner Power. The fool's journey takes him to a serene meadow where he meets Strength, a figure who tames a lion with gentle compassion. Through her, the fool learns that true power comes from within and that kindness can overcome the fiercest challenges. Strength is associated with Leo, ruled by the sun, representing courage and vitality. The Hebrew letter Tet, meaning serpent, aligns with strength, symbolizing the transformative power of inner strength and the mastery of primal instincts. So, strength. Now, when they say that kindness can overcome the fiercest challenges, okay. It's always the best way to go. It's always the best way to go. Whether it alone is enough, I have issues with. But uh, I prefer to look at it from the other way. When we see the strength card, yes, she's very brave and very powerful for being able to gently close the lion's mouth. Good for her. However, I think it takes more strength on the lion's part to not rip her face off and pick his teeth with her toe bone. I think it takes a great deal of strength to control that animal within you. Okay. Um, Yesterday, I had the most difficult day I've had in a long time because somebody within my circle broke my boundaries. And I was shocked. I was hurt. I was angry. Um, and it took a great deal of strength on my part not to lose my shit and turn into 1993 Bobby. Um, I knew that this was just a bad moment. It wasn't a friendship ending moment, but it took everything in me not to go ballistic and raise everything to the ground. So, this is the type of strength I find more powerful, maintaining control of the fire within you. When we see Tet associated with the strength card, meaning serpent, there's a very easy way to remember how serpent associates with the Tet card or strength card. The Kundalini energy of the chakras that rises up, it's called the serpent energy. Okay. Um, been to that rodeo more than a few times. I know. I don't want to destroy friendships because of a bad moment, but I mean, I almost did. Um, yeah, that Kundalini serpent energy that raises up in the Dark Wood Tarot, which I have right here. Let me see if I can find her card real quick. The Strength card is amazing. If you have the Darkwood Tarot, you know what it looks like. It's a woman meditating, cross-legged. Um, we used to call it Indian style. Now they call it something else so as to not be racist. What is it? Something with apples? Cancel. I almost did it again. It's okay to outgrow people if they repeat their actions and don't learn. See, that's the thing. It wasn't a repeat, it was a one time thing. If in the future it's a repeat, then we are going to have to reevaluate how things are going to go here, right? I've worked too long and too hard to create my boundaries to let anybody disregard them. I don't care if that's my husband, my best friend, my cousins, anybody. So, here we go. All right. On this card, you could see the serpent down at the bottom and how she's sitting there. Isn't that gorgeous? This is a Sasha Graham deck, by the way. Her new deck, the Vampire's Tale, will be out soon. She's gonna send me a copy. Okay. The Dark Wood Tarot is a beautiful tale. If you like storybooks, it comes with a storybook too. It's such a great book. Get it. The deck is phenomenal. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Okay. So, The Hermit's Solitude, Chapter 9. Um, in search of wisdom, the fool climbs a mountain where he encounters the hermit, a wise sage who illuminates the path with his lantern. Here, the fool learns the value of introspection and of guidance found in solitude. The hermit is linked to Virgo, ruled by Mercury, reflecting analytical thought and spiritual insight. The Hebrew letter Yud, meaning hand, is associated with the hermit, symbolizing the active seeking of knowledge and the light of understanding. All right, so let's break it down. The card itself, the hermit, is about introspection. We turn inwards. This is not a young guy. This is a man who has life experience. This is somebody who has been around the block a couple times. Sorry, I had to belch. So this old fart is looking back at his life. That's why he's got his lantern and he's looking back at where he's been. He's examining it. He's examining the minutia of his life. He's going over, he's making sense of what he's doing. Now, the Hermit card is associated with Virgo energy. Virgo analyzes everything. Virgo are being counters. They look at the details. So that is exactly what the hermit is doing. What up, Jan? There you are. Knew you were gonna be here. I was all sad earlier. I was like, Jan's not here. Who said the N word? What N word did I say? I did summon her. I'm good that way. M word minutia. Okay. I was like, I did not say. Don't be throwing that out online. People are gonna run with that. He said the N word. No. Um. All right. So, in examining his life through Virgo energy, um, the fool is trying to gain clarity and wisdom. He's trying to understand what the hell is going on. Witchy best friend. What's up, Jeff? Are you kidding? Well, I'm trying to make an effort to do it at the same time, but since the show is just in its infancy, um, I'm not supposed to be doing shows at all today. That was the deal I made with my husband. Sundays are family day. But I was like, except for my members. So we're still arguing about that. I'm trying to coordinate a good time. Virgo, the hermit. Um, I don't want to confuse you guys. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of intelligence. So it's not just looking at it, it's breaking it down, being smart about where we've been, learning from it. Um, the Hebrew letter associated with this card is Yud, Y-O-D. Yod means hand, and it's not just hand. This is the hand of God. Um, When you see those little commas or apostrophes in the tarot, where it looks like little flames coming up, they're not flames, those are yods. Those are symbols of God. Hand is associated with the hermit. This is the active seeking of knowledge, the seeking something out. The He's actively seeking knowledge on where he's been. He's trying to make sense of it, not just for shits and giggles, but because he's still got a journey ahead of him. He's seeing, does anything I've been through apply to where I'm going? Can I take any of that with me? He's breaking it down. He's using it for furthering himself. Right. So remember that hand for Yod because it's going to come in on the next couple cards. The Wheel of Fortune is card number 10, chapter 10. Descending from the mountain, the fool stands before the Wheel of Fortune, a symbol of the cycles of life and fate's ever turning nature. Here he realizes that change is constant and that fortune's wheel will bring both highs and lows. The Wheel of Fortune is associated with Jupiter, reflecting expansion and the ebb and flow of life circumstances. The Hebrew letter kaf, meaning palm or hand, palm of the hand, relates to the Wheel of Fortune, symbolizing the grasp of opportunity and the acceptance of life cycles. What the hell does all that mean? Well, kaf, K-A-P-H, is the palm of the hand. So where we had the whole hand, now we've got this part right here. Jupiter expands, right? Jupiter grows. It's the largest planet. In astrology, when Jupiter shows up, things are on the rise, all right, or things are huge right now. The letter calf, meaning hand, is grabbing opportunity. So this is knowing when to take hold of something, or if the wheel is turning the other way, how to let go of something. So we've got grabbing fortune and releasing fortune, the palm of the hand. When you hear the phrase, I've got itchy palms, money must be coming to me. That's this energy. Um, can it also be about life lessons coming to a close? Not so much. This is about um, growth and expansion. So when we're talking about things coming to a close, we're going to get to the cards that relate to that. But no, this is more about expansion and growing. All right. Um, anytime, anytime I see the Wheel of Fortune, I hear in the back of my head the Ballad of the Witch's Road. Not just the one page. I do the cover version, Lorna Woo's version in my head. I'm hearing, if I can't reach you, then I can't teach you. There we go. My head was itching, sorry. Um, you're welcome, Bridget. Agatha All Along is amazing, but I do love the rock version when they're doing the band. That's the version I like. I love that. All right. So we have calf, right? Grabbing or releasing. I brought up Agatha All Along because we know the witch's road is sometimes up, sometimes down. The witch's road is not a straight line, it is not comfortable going, it is troublesome. Life's road, the witch's road, takes us through thorns sometimes. Those are the part where it's bad. That's when the expansion isn't happening. So there we go. That's better. Um, I tell myself that this is temporary. that the road will soon be in my favor. Um, and it always comes about. I just have to get through the dark times. When I get sick, I know I'm going to be fine. I just have to get through this phase. Um, so that's calf. Now we've got card number 11 or chapter 11, Justice's Balance. I have a friend named Justice, by the way. The fool encounters justice, a figure who weighs truth and fairness with her scales. Here, he learns the importance of accountability and the consequences of his actions. Justice is linked to Libra, ruled by Venus, embodying harmony and fairness. The Hebrew letter Lamed, meaning ox goad, connects to justice, symbolizing guidance and the pursuit of truth. All right, so let's talk about the most obvious thing. We know justice is balance. We've got scales, the scales of justice balance. Okay. Um, that's why we associate it with law or decisions or outcomes. Justice, Libra is an air sign. It's cardinal air, but it's ruled by Venus. All right. Love. So again, this is the same concept as the Lover's card. Okay. It's knowing we're balanced up here and in here. Okay. Justice plays a pivotal role in the area I live in because I live right near the fort. So a lot of my clients are military. Um, my goal with them, they don't share anything with me, um, but sometimes they need balance just like us. They may have a strong job, but they're human. I almost said some stuff I shouldn't have said right there, so I had to be careful. Um, so Lamed. Lamed is an ox goad. Do you guys know what an ox goad is? Have you ever seen those shows of the Bedouin um, herders with the cattle, and they've got a stick, and they're like hitting the bulls and the cows, and they're trying to get them to go over? That's an ox goad. What's up, Swansea? How you doing? Glad you're here. Um, an ox goad is that stick that's telling them where to go, that's keeping them in line. In the chariot, we had het, the fences that are keeping us in line. Here, we've got the ox goad. Now, the thing about the ox goad you have to know is that at the end of that stick, there's a sharp little point, okay, which is like a spur to spur the animals to where they need to be. Apply that energy to us. This is that energy of something keeping us in line, like the law, all right, that has a bite, maybe. Um, okay, I keep messing with my hat because um, I'm not mirroring my screen properly. So, when you put your hand here and it goes out that way. I hate that. I need to fix that. Maybe I could fix it in settings because it's really bothering me, you guys. No, but I did figure out how to do overlays. That's cool. All right, so uh justice. Justice does have that little spur at the end of it, so that can come into play with this also. Now we've got with the justice, fairness and harmony is the big thing you need to remember there. Okay. It's ruled by Venus. in Libra, or Libra, but Libra is ruled by Venus. So the Hanged Man's Perspective, card number 12, chapter 12. Finding himself at a crossroads, the fool meets the hanged man who hangs upside down, viewing the world from a different angle. I love that. Through him, the fool learns the power of surrender and seeing life from a new perspective. The hanged man is associated with Neptune, representing sacrifice and enlightenment. The Hebrew letter mem, meaning water, relates to the hanged man, symbolizing reflection and the fluidity of perception. Remember, I said there were three mother letters: air, water, and fire. This is the water card. This is one of the biggies. On the back of the Thoth deck, you see this little image here. There. That is also a tree of life, you guys. It's just formed differently. Now, right in the center, you see that yellow, that blue, that red. That's air, fire, and water. Those are the three mother letters. Um, they're the biggies. All right. So, Hanged Man famously, people like to say how he's associated with Odin. There's debate about that. But Odin sacrificed himself on the tree of life, plucked out his eye for knowledge. Okay, and he was given the magic of the runes, the knowledge that he brought to everybody. Odin is also conflated with Hermes, by the way, you guys. I just throwing that out there. Becky, you do Thoth? I love Thoth. If you ever I'm planning on reading with Thoth throughout the year, but I'm still deep in my studies. I don't like to use Thoth because, well, I do, but only in certain situations because it's not the same type of reading. It's deep. Joe Monteleone calls it a karma accelerator. So if you want to find some good Thoth videos, look at him. Lennon, what up, homegirl? Loved your video. Got excited about the epithets deck for Hecate you're creating. Phenomenal. You should ask Ken Payne to write the forward for that for you. I bet he would. So we have, and Lennon knows Thoth. She knows how to read Thoth. I love that. Perfect timing, homegirl. Yeah, Ken is one of my friends. If you want me to hook you up with him, I will. So the Hanged Man is associated with the planet Neptune, right? Wait, did I finish with Odin? I think I did. Yeah, surrender and perspective. The idea of Odin hanging himself on the tree was he surrendered. He wasn't killing himself, but he was elevating himself by hanging himself. Weird, right? Your son and I am summoning all the witches today. Lennon, I'm not kidding. It's really cool. Yes, it was a sacrifice. And that's the thing about when I see movies and shit, when they in the scary movies, you see they're gonna make a human sacrifice and they pull a random stranger off the street. Okay, yes, I understand that the concept they're trying to relate is that you're using this person's life energy to fuel your spell. But the phrase sacrifice means something important to you that you're giving up. So if you're just doing something like that, it's not a sacrifice. A sacrifice would be more along what Thanos did with in the movie, The Avengers. That was a sacrifice. He didn't want to do it, but he did it. when we give something up for Lent, we're sacrificing ourselves. I don't mean us, but if you give something up for Lent, you're sacrificing. You're making a sacrifice. Okay. So, mem is water. It's one of the three mother letters. Um, this is the fluidity that we need in order to see things different. We think of putting yourself in that position. All right, you're hanging upside down. Nothing's happening. What now? Well, your mind's not open to the possibility of seeing things from a new direction. You have to be open to the possibility. You have to be able to be fluid, to see things in a new manner. It's not just about putting yourself in a new position. You have to be willing and able to honor that position. Being a sacrifice for the Mayans was an honor for the person. Yeah, Aztecs too. Aztecs did it too for they use their enemies as a sacrifice. I'd like to do a whole Aztec thing with Selena and Ramon. I'm going to see if they want to do it with me. Very interesting stuff there. Yeah. So, yes, to conclude the Hanged Man's association with Neptune and Mem. So, Neptune is the planet of water, but it's also the planet of dreams and illusions. So, when we put ourselves in a new frame of mind and are open to the possibilities, we're letting that energy reform and we're seeing things in a new direction. I always see the hanged man as if they were on a bungee cord and must cut their own cord to get to death. I love that. I see the hanged man. I used to see him as Odin. Now I kind of see him as BDSM. Um, ain't gonna lie, Bobby likes it rough. But you reach a level during that where your mind sees things and feels things differently, and I love that. My point here, before I get all kinky, is you have to be open and willing and fluid enough to see things in a new manner. With the hanged man, it's not just putting yourself in a new position, it's being open for it. It's like forcing your husband. I'll use him. When I want him to understand something, I will show him, but if he's not open to the concept, he's not going to get it. Okay. Takes the mental kinky note. Yeah. More on that later, members. You are the members, so here's where I will say more shit that I won't say on my regular channel, and that's saying a lot because I will say pretty much anything. So good. Now, what do we have? Our next chapter, chapter 13, Death's Transformation. You know what? Hold on. Smoke them if you got it, bitches. This is pretty good. It's watermelon. I lost a grape one in there. 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Hit, sip, sip. That's right, Bridget. I'm going to be doing a show later on where I'm going to try to raise a little bit of money. I need to raise a little cash to hit the the pharmacy. My plans kind of got screwed up yesterday. All right. Next, we have death. In a shadowy valley, the fool encounters death, a figure of transformation and renewal. Here he understands that endings are a natural part of life and pave the way for new beginnings. Death is linked to Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, symbolizing transformation and rebirth. The Hebrew letter Nun, Nun, meaning fish, aligns with death, representing life cycles and the process of renewal. So let's break it down. Famously, you hear people say, oh, death isn't death, it's about transformation. Well, sometimes death is fucking death. You'll hear readers say, you can't read physical death. No, you can't read physical death with cards. And it's not something I suggest my students start off trying to do. But like I say, I'm a smoking bitch. Good. Everybody smoke them if you got them. Just be safe. Throughout my career, I've read physical death a few times. I've told this story before, but I'll quickly tell it again. One of the shops I worked at when I was a very young reader, I was in my early 20s. I read Death for Somebody. Thank you, my love. Oh, I appreciate that. Yes. Oh, I love it. You guys are awesome. You really are. Look, you put a lump in my throat. I appreciate you. All right, I'm not gonna look at the screen. I got to force it. You did. You put a lump in my throat. Yeah, you don't understand how bad yesterday was, you guys. So, yeah, it was just a bad day. But it's not a bad week. I want to point that out. I don't like the people who say, oh, I'm having such a bad week. No, did you have a bad 5 minutes that you're milking into a bad week, or did you truly have a bad week? I'm trying to realize that it was just a bad moment, not a bad week, not a bad month. It's okay. Death is linked to Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto is the planet of renewal. When you look at the glyph for Pluto, it looks like a person yes, welcome everybody. Welcome. Glad that you are here, seriously. I'm very excited about the members content because it gives me a chance to actually dig into education. I know I like to do that on my regular channel, but at least here I know the people that are watching want to learn. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry if you're enjoying what I'm throwing down because you know that I'm teaching something that I'm passionate about. Anyway, before I get all lost. So the glyph for Pluto shows a person basically with their arms up, coming back to life. They are emerging. They're rising up. The transformation and rebirth of the death card is fascinating. The end of one thing, the beginning of something else. I think we know this card more than any other card, except maybe the Lovers. It and the Sun card. This is the one that people think of when they think tarot. It's gotten a lot of shit because it's got a skeleton on it. Death isn't evil. Death just is. Death is a part of life, as they say. We all have to face it sooner or later. Um, Death isn't coming for George because he's Hispanic. Jeff isn't coming for Lily because she's a lesbian. Jeff isn't come Jeff. Death isn't coming for Jeff because he likes heavy metal. Death is the great equalizer. We all are. Fuck Jeff. We hate Jeff. Death is. Death don't play favorites. It just doesn't. We all have an equal chance of meeting them. So, none. The Hebrew letter associated with none means fish. And it's easy. Think of it this way. If you're having trouble remembering what the Hebrew name for fish is, think death. None. Okay? None. N-U-N. The other way is nuns. They don't have sex. They have pussy death. Okay, so none. All right. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. No. These are also the fishies that swim through the waters of life that we had from the hanged man. We had the water. Now we got the fishies. So it's a natural progression. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Yeah, I was really hoping to see my in-laws today. I love them. They're MAGA, but I love them. I just. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that road today, although I am going to have a political show coming up on my members channel. You guys don't have to watch, but I want to do a little bitching. So, chapter 14 brings the temperance card. The Temperance's Harmony is the title of the chapter. Emerging from the valley, the fool meets Temperance, a figure blending fire and water, symbolizing balance and moderation. Here he learns the art of harmony and the importance of patience in the alchemy of life. Temperance is associated with Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, reflecting exploration and balance. The Hebrew letter Samek, it's important, meaning prop, connects to temperance, symbolizing support and the integration of opposites. So temperance, blending of fire and water. We see the angel tempering things. When you temper something, what is the actual meaning of temperance? Hold on, I'm going to look this up. What is the meaning of temperance? The quality of moderation or restraint. So they have to. I was a bartender for a long time. You have to add things in just the right amounts. Otherwise, you're going to screw up the whole drink. It's not going to taste good, or you're going to make somebody sick, or they're going to want their money back, or whatever. But you have to do it in just the right way, just the right amount of alcohol, just the right amount of mixer, because with too much alcohol, it's illegal. And if you put too much mixer, they're going to bitch. So you have to do things just right. Oops, I turned my phone off. I need that. Moderation comes into play with temperance. If we're drinking or smoking or doing anything like that, if you do too much, it's unhealthy for you. You're not able to function. Um, Things aren't going to go well. You just need to moderate your use of whatever you're using. I'm not saying use anything as long as you do it in safe doses. No, I'm saying it's ironic in that context because it's the Saggy card, and the Saggies aren't great at moderation. But Sagittarius brings healing. Okay. Sagittarius is the wounded warrior. Sagittarius is spirituality. This is Sagittarius energy for the Temperance card. We use the moderation in order to heal ourselves. Miss Towdy, happy belated Valentine's Day, my love. Um, so glad you're here. Yes, the Nine of Wands is that energy. Sagittarius, actually, the 8, 9, and 10 of Wands are all Sagittarius energy. Um, this is where we find our spirituality, where we find our healing. We are creating potions to heal us. Now, here's the cool part. That's the Sagittarius aspect. The Samek part, the Hebrew association, which means prop. Um, Prop is used to support. So one of the things I like about this card when it comes up is, are you supporting somebody who's in need of healing, or is there people around to support you and give you the support you need in order to do the blending you need for harmony? So we've got support, healing, moderation, three things associated with the Temperance card. Okay. So do you see how everything expands the meaning of the card if you pull all these in? And we haven't even gotten into the gematria yet, where we learn how to count with the major arcana. See, here's the thing about the Temperance card. It's not just blending different elements, it's a blending of opposites. All right, so again, we're back to the yin and yang energy. In the Chariot card, we got a hold of that energy and we use it to go places. In this card, we're blending it for healing purposes. Okay, we're taking those different sides of ourselves and we're reconciling them. We have the opportunity to do that now because we have the support needed, or we're doing this in order to support somebody else, or we're supporting somebody else while they do it. It's your intuition that is going to tell you exactly which aspect of the card you're pulling. Am I doing a decent job, you guys? I want to make sure you're picking up what I'm throwing down. So just give me a thumbs up if we're all good, or a question mark if you're confused. I seriously need to know these things. You know, my hands are shaking more today than they have. All right, we got thumbage. Awesome, Bridget. That's not a thumb, Miss Jody. But I'll take one of those too. Okay, you're doing fantastic. Really helping me to understand. You're good. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is why when you get a book on tarot, you see there's all these different meanings, and you're like, how does it mean all of this shit? Well, this is how. Okay. Um, We're not even talking about the numerology. That's another thing. All right. Now, chapter 15, the devil's illusion. All right. Yeah, Miss Rudy, that was nasty. How could you post one of those? I'm not that type of boy. Um, as night falls, the fool confronts the devil, a figure representing bondage and illusion. Here he learns about the chains of desire and fear, understanding the need to break free from self imposed limitations. The devil is linked to Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, representing materialism and the shadow self. The Hebrew letter ayin, meaning I, and that's spelled Ayin. Ayin, meaning I relates to the devil, symbolizing awareness and the unveiling of hidden truth. And the deck I was talking about earlier, you guys, is the um, Heaven and Earth deck. This is the Calm Your Tits card, the Four of Swords. I like it. All right. It has the Golden Dawn names, the astrology, the Hebrew letter, and the gematria. Fucking phenomenal deck. The only thing I don't like about it is they do have the princess, the knight, the queen, the king. I wish it were more thought like to where it were princess, prince, queen, knight for that approach. But this blends Thoth and Golden Dawn. That's why I like it. And that's why I suggest it to you guys. They even have a mini version that you can order off Llewellyn. Excellent. Oh, you're talking to Madrina. I thought you were talking about. I was like, Dan, you're the, like, absolutely. I said hello to you. Um, all right. So, self-imposed limitations. This isn't just being held back. This isn't just being stunted. This isn't just the energy of restriction. It's restrictions that we have imposed on ourselves. The devil card is the mirror to the lover's card. The same scene, just with a different vibe to it. Now we've got the angel is actually the devil, and the two lovers have lost sight of each other. They are not focused on the relationship. Their focus is on worldly matters. They're chained to material matter. You see those chains around their neck. You know, the chains they could lift off because they're so loose. Those ones. They can pull those bitches off if they want and skip out, but they didn't. All right. They put the chains on themselves. They chained themselves to that big block of matter. They chain themselves to the world because they like pleasure. They need that pleasure. They need that illusion. The devil's greatest weapon. And this is important, what I'm about to say, because it's my mnemonic for remembering things. The devil's greatest weapon is illusion. The Hebrew letter associated with this card is ayin, the eye that sees past the illusion. Okay, this is the eye that sees past the bullshit. Um, Capricorn is related to the devil card. Capricorn is cardinal earth. Capricorn is the energy that is so focused on what they have and obtaining and being seen to have. This is the energy of politicians. They're so concerned with how people are reacting and responding to them. Okay. Um, I, I, how they're seen. Okay. Now, this is the eye that sees past the illusion. The eye that's the devil is live is spelled backwards. You start living forward facing. That's right. Now on the devil card, you do have the pentacle up on top, but it's reversed to where the 2 points are up and the 1 point down. When the pentacle's right side up, that's spirit over matter. When the pentacle is the 2 points up, that's matter over spirit. Now there are some um spiritual paths where the direction of the pentacle comes into play, denoting your rank or achievement. Um, but I don't walk that path, so I'm not in that tradition, so I can't speak on it really, but I have come across it. Um, I've also came across covens who didn't want men in them. Um, my mom's coven was like that when I was younger. They were Dianic. So I have a lot of Capricorn placements, including Moon. Okay. So that tells me your emotions may be restricted a lot of the time. The energy of Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet of restriction. Saturn has that ring around it. Okay. The ring that restricts us. Now, this is one of those cards where I really try to spend a little more time on and break it down because Saturn, I don't want you to get the idea that having Saturn show up is bad. Saturn is about wisdom and been there, done that energy. All right. Saturn is restrictive, but it pulls in that energy with purpose to give birth to something else. The world card is associated with Saturn, and we're going to get to that. But the world card gives birth to the fool. So he must have opened the front door. The dogs bark at the cats, the neighbors, the people walking by, the color of the sky, anything, whatever. Um, Jerry, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, so yes, even though the devil is linked to Capricorn, which deals with focusing on what we have, it's also associated with Saturn, which is about wisdom. So being aware of what we have, I'm going to kind of run things together here. Bondage, entrapment. These are physical things, material things, lustful things, desire things. This is the seven deadly sins, getting trapped in them and not being able to see past anything but them. This is being mired in bullshit. All right. Um, there's a need to break free, and the ability to break free is there. All they got to do is that, but they're not. Um, I sees past the bullshit. All right. This is both the suggestion on how to break loose. You need to see past the bullshit. And it's an admonition. You see past the bullshit. You know what's going on. Um, so there's that. Bobby, do you know how each astrological sign got a song signed to each tarot card? It's okay if you don't. Yes, I can. Um, not. I'm not sure I'm understanding the question. Do I understand what the planning process involved? Why? Um, why this is this? This is this. This is this? No. Um, I have touched on it through Golden Dawn books, but it does represent. We've covered that too, Judy. We were talking about the bonded. Yeah. Oh, Bobby likes his rough stuff. That's a very good question, and I'm gonna write it down because it's a great idea for a show. How were signs put doled out in tarot. All right. Great idea. Maybe we could do that together, Miss Tarot D. I love doing it with you. All right. Yeah, Selena's been in and out. Um, where was I? Yeah, the bullshit of the eye. Now we're into the tower. You nasty bitch. Okay. Chapter number 16, The Tower's Revelation. A sudden storm shatters the night as the fool witnesses the tower being struck by lightning, a symbol of upheaval and revelation. Here he learns that destruction often precedes renewal, clearing the path for true enlightenment. The tower is associated with Mars, reflecting sudden change and liberation. The Hebrew letter Peh, P-E-H, meaning mouth, connects to the tower, symbolizing expression and the breaking of false structures. So, um, when the tower shows up, we see the lightning hitting. This is the shakeup that is needed. This is Joey's favorite card, the tower. This is necessary in order for. I like to think of it as when you're trying to get something into a box and it doesn't fit, but you're able to break it down and fold it up, break it and put it in there. Um, on a enlightenment coming from that area, when that lightning bolt hits, it's sudden realization. It's like, I got an idea. So even then, it's that new idea is taking the place of old ideas. You're realizing how to break it apart and re-put it back together. Okay. So pay. Let's start with this. Pay means mouth. This is the mouth that speaks the truth that brings about the destruction. This is um that episode of The Big Bang Theory where um Leonard tells his mom he still lives with his mother and he can't talk to women unless he's drunk. Go. He told the truth, and the mother pretty much ripped into these two guys and analyzed it, but it was him speaking the truth that caused this all. All right. Um, I would call it more minor annoyance than BDSM. Oh, unless you. No, that's another story. Um, so we see the mouth that tells people what's going on. Right now, we're going through a lot of that with the Jeffrey Epstein files. This is the truth that is shaking everything up. This is that necessary moment. Bobby, we were talking about 50 Shades of Grey. You talk about 50 Shades of Grey. I've been there. Um, and so have you too, bitch. I know that. We've talked about this. So, yeah, when the tower shows up, um, I'm going to go through all the associations I have with it, or most of them. Destruction, a shakeup, somebody opened their mouth and started problems. You opened your mouth and started problems. If you open your mouth, it's going to start problems. You get where I'm going with this? Um, Facts came out that shook everything up. Um, Here's something else. Mars is the planet of knives and blades. Okay, because warrior, think that. So when Mars cards show up, if there's a lot of cards that have Mars and temperance or healing cards, my first guess is going to be is surgery involved because the person you're reading for has a lot of that Mars energy. So I'm going to ask about that. But you're opening yourself up to health questions if you go down that route. And the people I read with on YouTube don't like to talk politics. They don't like to talk health. Um, so that's I'm gonna do that on my members. I can't ever get anybody. Sherry, I love doing Sherry's show with her because she doesn't give a damn. She's like, let's do it. What happens if I click on that? Okay, nothing. All right. So pay mouth bullshit. Ow! All right. Destruction. No. Those structures that are falling, if they're falling, they weren't solid to begin with. So these are false structures that you're calling out. So don't feel guilty about causing bullshit, is the vibe of the card. Um, these things need to be called out. Look at it this way: in order to get to the finish line. Okay. Um, Fantastic. So, any questions on the tower before I go on? Sip, sip. Oh, I forgot to put my cinnamon on. Do you guys sprinkle cinnamon on your bananas? I love doing that. Yeah, be careful because otherwise you'll get too much. So use a shaker. All right. You need a microscope to find it. You've been talking to my ex? Oh, it's different. Okay. There we go. So, chapter 17, The Stars Hope. Hope. You got to say that. This is a very long show today. It's okay. I told you guys, I warned you ahead of time. The Stars Hope. Amidst the aftermath, the fool finds solace in the star, a figure of hope and inspiration. Under her guiding light, he learns to trust in the future and find peace in the present. The star is linked to Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, representing innovation and vision. The Hebrew letter Zadi, meaning fishhook, aligns with star, symbolizing guidance and spiritual aspirations. So, the star. When you hear a lot of readers online, we talk about how the star is there in the sky guiding us, giving us direction. Let's dig a little deeper into that. So, why does it provide direction? Well, obviously, it's a star in the sky. Duh. Stars are easy to navigate by. That's why sailors have been doing it since seafaring was created. So, the star brings peace. One of the most peaceful times I ever had was in New Orleans when I was 15, in the middle of the night, laying down on a grass levee by the Mississippi River, looking up at the sky. And I was stoned. And I was just looking at the beautiful stars coming from LA. I had never really seen stars like that. Let's do a political show. Fuck yeah, Judy. Oh, sorry. Let's do it. All right, Jess. See you. You can watch on replay, my love. I'll see you later. Back to the star. All right, so the star does provide that fixed point for us to refer back to let us know where we are. All right, to give us an idea of where we're going. That direction. Okay. The star card is linked to Aquarius. So Aquarius is your tribe, your society. It's fixed air. Air is thought. Fixed signs are just that, fixed and immovable. They're stubborn. When these are the people who are in your life, who are there, who are part of your everyday thought process. This is your tribe. You guys are my fucking tribe. You are on my mind all the time. Swampy, Miss Tarot D, Jess, Becky, all you guys, Jan. And I feel bad because I get messages from everybody, and I honestly don't have a chance to respond to everyone. I don't know how Selena does it. I don't know how Miss Tarot D does it. I don't. And I'm lucky to have that many people love me in that way. You guys are amazing. And I do feel guilty for not responding. So Aquarius. Aquarius is our tribe. Now, what is that tribe good for? Remember, Aquarius is fixed air. They're the ones who support your thoughts, who support your ideas. So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. What other planet or card is ruled by Uranus? It's the Fool card. You should feel guilty. Oh, you know what? What other card is associated with Uranus in the major arcana? It's the Fool card. So the Fool card goes out and adventures, right? That's also Aquarius. It deals with causes. So now we're not only jumping out into life, we're not doing it alone. With the Star card, we're attacking these causes with people that vibe with us, our tribe. We come together. Aquarius always confuses me. I still can't wrap my brain around the fact that it's an air sign. I know, because it's got the water symbol. I knew the answer to this. I promise you by the next time I'm live, I'll be able to tell you about this. I did. And yes, I do know how the actual zodiac signs, why they're named that, like Leo, why it's a lioness. And I can go over that on the show. But the question you posed earlier, that's a very good question about why are these signs linked to these cards. I'm going to go back, and a lot of it has to do with the magical system of the Golden Dawn, I believe. How that system was developed, I can't tell you offhand. Madrina is dumping Bobby down. Yeah, you know what though? This is what I need. This is what Joey and I do with each other. We force each other to be better. So when you guys throw this shit out to me, if I don't know it, I'll find it, you know? So we've talked about the friendship aspect of Aquarius. We've talked about the causes aspect, like people who stand up for trans rights or gay rights or Black Lives Matter or things that they believe in. Even those racist fucks come together as a society. And I wish that we did that as well. Or are able to express it in the same way they have. But fuck them. We are a society. We take care of each other. We support each other. All right. That's the energy of Aquarius. It's also associated with the Hebrew letter Zadi, which means fish hook. Now, that may seem weird, but the fish hook that guides you towards spirituality, the fish hook that reels you in and pulls you this way. Okay. Now, this is one of the other cards that I'm not real crazy about with the Aleph Bet aspect because of that fish hook. I get it. I get that the fish represents abundance and plenty. Um, when we saw the death card with the nun, um, the Aleph Bet letter nun, fish. Fish means plenty. Even in the um, Lenormand deck, the fish card symbolizes plenty, abundance, fish multiplying, feeding the masses. All right. So fish hook symbolizes guidance and spiritual aspirations and spiritual abundance there. Okay. So we're moving on to chapter 18. The moon's mysteries. Under the moonlit sky, the fool wanders into the realm of the moon where illusion and dreams intertwine. Here, he learns to navigate the depths of his subconscious and trust his intuition. The moon is associated with Pisces, more fish, ruled by Neptune, reflecting dreams and intuition. The Hebrew letter Kaf, meaning back of the head, relates to the moon, symbolizing the subconscious mind and the unseen forces within. Now we had Kaf, which was palm. Remember, for Jupiter, for the Wheel of Fortune that grasps good fortune or releases their good luck. Now we've got Kaf, K-A-P-H. It's different. Bye, love. See you in a while. So, back of the head, where calf was palm, cough, Qoph, back of the head. Now, intuition. This is where, like, you see readers, and even I do this, where we get the tingles. This is our intuition back here, giving us the answers we need, the shit that we can't see up front, but we know this is that. The moon card deals with the subconscious and the hidden things within, right? The hidden dangers, the hidden things that are emerging. We see the crayfish coming up out of the water. That's evolution. That's coming out into the light of the moon. It's the first step of emerging into the light. Love you. Tell Dave I said hi. I knew it was going to be a long show, you guys. Right about what I thought it was going to be, too. All right. So, the moon card. The moon card, when we see the moon, what's the other card the moon is attached to? The high priestess, remember? She's standing on the crescent moon. So, the planet or sign for the moon can't be moon. It's in use. What are we going to do? Well, now we've got Pisces, the sign of Pisces. Okay. The moon is associated with the planet Neptune. Okay. So the emotional part comes into play with the moon. Water. We got the moon, which deals with illusions and dreams. We've got Neptune, which deals with dreams and intuition. And we've got Kaf, which deals with intuition and the back of the head. They all go together. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to go into on this card other than this is the unseen forces within. Now, Pisces, when the moon card shows up, if you're so called to lean into the Pisces aspect, what does it mean? Pisces, Pisces is mutable water. That means it's very fluid and changing. It's able to adapt. That's the job of mutable signs, to adapt. The mutable signs include Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini. Um, they change, they adapt in order to set up the next sign. Pisces is the house of death. Pretty cool. Um, Pisces ends the wheel of the year. It's the last sign. That's why it's called the house of death. Then Aries takes over and we start the whole process all over. Um, thank you. So, why is that so important that Pisces is the house of death here? Because it's a death of certain beliefs that we have, allowing other things to emerge from the subconscious. So it's basically clearing a space for it. All right. The If I see a lot of Pisces energy on the card, I know that there's going to be some major emotional changes coming on. What other emotional changes? Um, well, that depends on the cards surrounding them. Stick around, people, because I'm going to go off on a tangent about this at the end, but I want to get through the two cards. I'm gonna bitch a little bit. The sun's illumination is chapter 19. With dawn's arrival, the fool basks in the warmth of the sun, a symbol of joy and enlightenment. Here, he learns the power of clarity and the strength found in truth and positivity. Truth and positivity. Okay. The sun is linked to the sun itself. So the planet of the sun is the sun. That's a good thing. We love that. Um, that represents vitality and success. The Hebrew letter resh, R-E-S-H, meaning head, the whole shebang, uh, connects to the sun, symbolizing leadership and the radiant energy of life. So, sun card, happiness. On the tree of life, the sun card is associated with the sphere Tiferet, right in the exact middle of the tree. It is the space where if you stuck a pin in it, the tree would be balanced. All right, it's the harmony spot. There's three pillars on the tree of life, and this is the center pillar. All right, the center where everything balances. This space on the tree of life is called the Christ consciousness. It's where um, harmony, peace, happiness, abundance, all of the good stuff live. All right. We've managed to associate everything. Debbie, what's up, babe? Um, we've achieved a state of gnosis here. The sun card brings all the good things. If you've got troubling cards in your story and then you get the sun card, fuck the troubling cards. I mean, they're obviously still going to play a part, but the sun card says everything is going to work out fine. This is a painful situation you're in, but it's not the end. The sun card triumphs over everything it's next to. All right. It lessens, it makes it better. So if you've got the three of swords, which is mental instability causing our heart pain, and we get the sun card right next to it, we're going to find that balance. That balance of Libra is going to kick in. Okay. The gravity of the sun is going to pull you towards harmony and balance. I can't remember. I lost another thing of weed today, which is why I have to go to the dispensary. And this one's just about empty. You guys rock. Head. Resh is the symbol for head, or it means head in the Hebrew alphabet. So where we had face in the back of the head, now we've got the whole thing. All right, this is the whole shebang. This is everything. Nothing is hidden. Everything is out there in the light. There it is. All right. So if the sun card shows up, no matter what it's next to, this is positive. Unless, even if it's the sun card and then negative cards, it's still telling me you're going into this negative aspect with enough light to get you through it. Okay, so the sun card lessens the trauma of the surrounding cards. We love that about it. At least I do. Yeah, where the moon card is the back of the head showing things emerging. It's emerged here. It's out. The baby's ready. Here it is. The baby has popped out. So, our next chapter, chapter 20, Judgment's Awakening. Near the journey's end, the fool stands before judgment, a figure heralding rebirth and transformation. Here he understands the call to rise to his true purpose, embracing change and renewal. Judgment is associated with Pluto, reflecting transformation and rebirth. The Hebrew letter Shin, meaning tooth, relates to judgment, symbolizing the refining fire of the spirit and the awakening of the soul, the refining fire of the spirit. Thank you, Mr. OD. Thank you. I love you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, you guys, but oh, I keep forgetting this isn't StreamYard. I can't put it up on screen. All right. Now, Judgment's Awakening. When we see the Judgment card, you see all the coffins opening up and the spirits rising up into heaven. It's a call to action. They've heard the call of who was it? Gabriel? Gabriel's horn. And they are going forth to face judgment. So, as they go forth, as they rise up, that's the energy of Pluto that the judgment card is associated with. This is the zombie card is what I call it. It's the rising from the dead. This can be, when you're reading for somebody else, the turning point they need. This is acknowledging that they are grasping a new life, that they are transforming the things in their life to suit them better. When we see Shin associated with this, it's the Hebrew letter for tooth. It's basically three letters, and there's or three things, and they're supposed to be teeth. The teeth that in a fiery manner grind you up and grind you down and transforms you into something else. When I first started working with Hecate as a teenager, uh, what I didn't realize when I took up with it, I couldn't understand why the witches around me were like, "Oh, cautious when working with Hecate," and I'm like, "Well, let's do it." What I didn't know, and I share this with you now, and anybody who works with Hecate, Lennon, are you still here? she breaks you down. She takes you and she fucking turns you into base dust. She literally takes you apart completely, mind, body, and spirit, and rebuilds you up. And it's not a quick or easy process. It's an ongoing process. If um I just had a lot more to break down than a lot of people because of the life I was living. So Larry's here. What up, Larry? Yeah, I'm not going to go into Hecate, but my point in bringing that up was that that's the same energy here. Shin, a breaking down, a transformation, a rebuilding. Think $6 million man. We can rebuild him better, faster, stronger. Yeah, y'all know it. Don't fuck with me. You're as old as I am. All right. So, yeah, see? Mm-hmm. We can rebuild him better, faster, stronger. Think of that when this card shows up. Things have been broken down and are being put back together in a new way. The energy of Pluto, the rising up, the judgment. We've been, one aspect is you're being judged. I don't really like that, but I do keep it in my lexicon in case it does pop up that way. This is the $6 million man, Steve Austin. What was his boss's name at the agency, and what was the agency called? See how big a goobers my chat is. The $6 million man does seem like a paltry sum lately. So what I'm hearing is you got a bargain, dude, right? Okay. So we have discussed the energy of that judgment card and why all no, it wasn't Ruben. I'll give you a hint. I married him. Um, Oscar Goldman, you got it. Don't remember the agency. It's okay. I don't remember the agency either. I was hoping one of you did, but it is Oscar Goldman. That is correct. Um, Now that dude was the smartest one in the show because he was also on the Bionic Woman, so he knew how to make it work for him. Yeah. All right. That's right, Jan. Oscar. I don't. Did you meet my husband when you were here? He stays away from, well, everything really. Something governmental. I think that's right. Um. Now you have a better understanding of the Judgment card, the Pluto energy, and Shin. What I would like to bring up is that fire in this aspect isn't about passion, it's about spirituality. Okay. When we're talking about Kabbalistic associations here, you guys are learning Kabbalah now. So congratulations, whether you knew it or not. Um, in Kabbalah, the first realm is fire. That's why knights are up here. So we've got fire, water, earth, air. Absolute Bria. Something Asia. Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. It means I need more food. All right, yeah, we're almost done, which is good. But the four worlds of creation. Talk with your mouth full. You kind of sort of met him twice. I exhibit no surprise. Um, you're very Forrest Gumpy. You and I both. Between the two of us, we've been there and done that at least once or twice. So now we're at chapter 21, the world, the world's completion. Finally, the fool reaches the world where all elements unite in harmony. Here he realizes the fulfillment of his journey, understanding the interconnectedness of all things and the joy of reaching completion. The world is linked to Saturn, representing completion and integration. The Hebrew letter Tav, T A V, meaning cross or sign, connects the world, symbolizing truth and the unity of existence. Thus, okay, yeah, thus the fool's journey through the major arcana comes full circle, having learned the lessons of the tarot and gained wisdom from each encounter. His journey, like ours, is one of growth, discovery, and the eternal dance of the soul with the universe. Now let's talk about the world card. When we hit the world card, we see um, the world dancer there holding her two wands. Where we had the magician with his one wand, now we've got completion with the world dancer, two wands. I like in Golden Dawn decks and hermetic decks more so, where you see the world card as a hermaphrodite, where it's a blending of opposites, where that harmony has come together. Um, I'm sure everybody knows what hermaphrodite is, right? It's half woman, half man, containing both aspects. Hermaphrodites are people born with both sets of sex organs and both um, types of genomes, I believe. Androgynous, thank you. Gosh. Um, I knew that was another word. I was like, we used to use it a lot in the 80s. So we see that interconnectedness, that coming together. Um, when we started our journey with the Fool, it was air, the possibility of things. It wasn't anything that could be touched. But now we've got Saturn. So this is where the possibilities have congealed, where they have come together. This is the end of the journey for the Fool. Saturn is the planet of wisdom. A Saturn return takes, I think, 28 years. Um, they always had their private parts covered up, so they never knew that they had both sex organs. Really? Um, yeah, Hermes people, we are all cool. Whether we have one set of sex organs, two set of sex organs, we believe in both sexies, whatever. We're freaking amazing. So a Saturn return takes what, 28 years for it to come back? It's the longest one. It's the planet of wisdom. The Fool now has the wisdom gained through his journey that he needs for manifesting his life, his reality. So, um, the last thing I want to say on Saturn and Tav is that Tav, the Hebrew letter with the alphabet associated with this, means cross or sign or mark. Okay, so a stamp. My favorite method of remembering this is inspected by number 49. Have you ever opened up your underwear, your chonies, and there's that little paper in there? Um, that's funny. Have you ever opened up your socks or your chonies and you see that little paper inspected by number 39? That's their mark saying it's been completed. Um, Pat, I still don't know if that was a man or a woman, and I've s- I don't know. That one got me. All right. So Tav is that energy, that completion, that acknowledging that you've reached the end. Okay. Uh was that Chris? Okay. Don't. I gotta finish this. Um I was like, don't get me off tangent. Now, Saturn. This is my favorite part of the major arcana. Saturn energy is restrictive. And remember what I told you about how Saturn pulls in the energy and it can be restrictive, but that energy can give birth to something else if done properly. So, on the tree of life, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. All right, one, two, three. The third sphere on the left, the top one, the black one, that's called Bina, the mother sphere. All right. That is what I associate with goddess energy. That's where the feminine strength lives. It's the sphere of severity, right? It's where things get real, literally. That energy is pulled in and given birth to the next sphere. All right. So, looking at it that way, the energy of Saturn associated with the world card pulls the energy of the whole major arcana together, manifests it into something physical and powerful, and gives birth to it. What is it that they gave birth to? It's the fool who starts his journey at the beginning again. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's all I had on this for right now. And in the future, we're going to dig into these deeper because I want everybody to show off. I want you to be the ones who know the answers. I want my members to have a leg up on anybody's channel that they're going to read on. I want you to have the ability to heal yourself when you have to. A lot of us lean into other people to find our strength and our healing. Sometimes that's just not possible, and we have to be able to lift ourselves up out of the darkness and the dirt and the pain, at least enough to get to where we need to be. Um, I take tarot very seriously because before any people understood me, my cards did. I recognized myself and my life in here. Your lives are in here too. It tells the story of life. Learn how to connect these cards to your story. And then when it comes up, you'll have the answers you need. I was going to show you from my Santa Muerte deck what I mean, but um, you can open up any card in there, and it's a memory, a snapshot from my life growing up with my family. Um, I just had a wonderful message from my grandmother the other night. Um, Tarot is amazing, you guys. It's not any more dangerous than anything else. If you people are concerned with it as a tool for divination, I use needles, thread, air, water, laundry, cooking, seeds, rice, anything, clouds. Does that mean everything's evil? I've learned to read the omens and things. Tarot's just a prepackaged set for me. So, yeah, I have issue with people that have a problem with it. No, you took it to a bad place, people. There's a difference. Um, and movies like Tarot that came out, oh my god, that was such a crappy ass movie. Don't help. They perpetuate this bullshit. I'm only going for another 8 minutes, you guys, if you're wondering why I'm still on. Hold on, what is this? Oh, wow. All right. I see some stuff I can play around with next time for my members. This is kind of cool. Usually I do things on StreamYard. For the members only, I have to do it through um this, I believe. We'll find out. Anyway, peeps, I hope that today's journey through the major arcana made a little sense to you and help you understand the energy of the astrology and the Aleph Bet a little more. Why are you still on? Oh, well, because 3 hours. I told everybody when we started out this was going to be a long show. Um, yeah, so feel free to go back and watch at your own pace. But yeah, the next shows coming up aren't going to be this long because there's only 10 cards in or 14 cards in each of the minors, and we're not really talking about court cards here. That's a separate show. Oh, 7 shows. Shit. Okay. Thank you, everybody. You've been fantastic. And please, y'all know how to find my email. It's in my I don't know if it's on this description. I had to throw it up real fast, but Wild Raven Tarot. If you go to my channel, it does have my email. If you have any questions, email me, and I'll see if I can hook you up with some answers. And don't worry about questions like this bothering me because in researching what I need to find a full answer for you, I'll get answers that I need to. And Dan, you might as well just say yes. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my first guy I ever slept with. Just give in. Um, let it happen. Anyway, everybody, you've been fantastic. I love you all. Thank you, Maru. Oh, look, I put some roll on that, didn't I? I'm gonna go do my unboxing video and be with my family and have a relaxing day. Um, and if you're part of the Behind the Moon tribe, you can go to my Redbubble store and um, get your Behind the Moon t-shirts. I'm very excited about those. They really came out good. I'm gonna order mine. So yeah, I love y'all. Now, how do I end this shit? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, everybody, take care. Okay, see you next week at 2 o'clock. I've got to do this standardized. So 2 o'clock Eastern time. I'm definitely gonna do this. So mote it be. There, now I have to do it. 2 o'clock. Love y'all. Bye.